Well, I know June and Guy Mathis quite well after doing work in the house, and it just so happened that I was passing when I seen a red Escort which had been reversed into the driveway. It was a Jai or a carriage. I don't know any part of the family that's got a car like that.
Don't look! Don't look!
June and Guy's ordeal was to last an hour, and we only hint at the violence that was used. But June kept her head and made a mental note of details, like the breech of one of the 3 guns.
Down, come on up!
It had sort of brass fancy bit on the top.
Around 7 o'clock, at the corner, I noticed a white Transit in June's Drive. I thought this was a bit funny because it's not the sort of van you would see in June's Drive.
I've had enough of you two. Right, get back. See you in a minute.
Do you think they've gone?
Yeah.
Yes, hello? Is that the police?
What was stolen was chiefly of sentimental value. Some jewellery, for instance, which had belonged to June's sister, who'd died the year before.
We had her jewellery, and her jewellery was to go to the grandchildren. You know, I could always look at it and say, well, this was June. So it's things that...
That's all you had to remember her by.
People that comes into homes with guns should be stopped. I don't know, it just shouldn't be.
One of the thoughts that crossed my mind during the thing was, what if our daughter or son came with the grandchildren while all this was happening? What would have happened then to those people? Would they have been snatched, the grandchildren? And that's a frightening thought.
Ian Beattie, obviously the first thing you've got to do is eliminate these 3 tarmackers who were there the week before.
Yes, that's correct.
What can you tell us about them?
We have description of the 3 men. The first man, he was 20 years of age, 5'8" tall, fair hair, and he was heavy build. The second man was mid to late 30s, 6 foot tall, black hair, stout build, and he had a short moustache and beard. The third man was mid 30s, 5 foot 10 inches tall, blonde hair, and was medium build.
OK, they all had North of England accents, I gather, and of course they may or may not be connected with the robbery. You need to find out who they were. They did have a Ford Transit van, a white Ford Transit. We know that a white Ford Transit and a red Ford Escort were involved in the robbery. There was no safe at that house, there ever, was there?
No, there's never ever been a safe in that house.
Tough information. What they took was of tremendous sentimental value. This is a reproduction of the Ormolu clock that was stolen. Tell us about the watches. Is there anything distinctive about them?
Raymond Veal watches, a ladies and gents watch, and these are exactly replicas of the watches that were stolen from the house.
Well, if anybody offers you watches like those, or this sort of reproduction Ormolu clock, please call the police. If you know anything about this or recognise any of those 3 men, the number here in the studio is 081818181, 081818181, or you can contact the Fife Incident Room direct. The number there is 0592 52611. That's 0592, the code for Kirkcaldy, 52611.
Well, I've seen that we've got quite a few calls coming in, more than 60 calls on the murder of Jean Bradley, suggesting names for the attacker, and there have been suggestions about the bag and about the hat. On Photocall, 2 of the cases have been very good on that. Police are actively following up 2 of them, in fact. There have been names suggested on the Hertfordshire abduction case, and on Incident Desk there have been names suggested for the man who carried out the rape in Holloway Road in North London. So it's all happening at the moment. The lines are very busy. If there's anything, in fact, you can add on any of our cases tonight, you can ring us still, although, as I said, the lines are busy on 081 811 8181, and they're going to be open until midnight tonight. Detectives are going to be acting on your information as it comes in, and we hope to have more news when we come back with Crimewatch Update. That'll be in an hour and a half's time, rather later than usual, I'm afraid, at 11:45.
And if you can't stay up till then, who on earth could blame you? Bear in mind that very few crimes are as bad as those that we ask your help with. People's risk of suffering violence is, for example, a great deal less than the risk of injury through accident. So despite the images we've shown tonight, please do keep things in perspective and don't have nightmares. Do sleep well. Good night.
Good night.